What's going on, everyone? So Rob Pelinka still has not done a trade, and we are well beyond the December 15th, beginning that Rob Pelinka put in place. He, keeps pushing the bar forward. But in reality, we knew it wasn't going to happen on the 15th. The hope was by the end of the year, they would do a trade, and now maybe one still ends up having development. Maybe Rob Pelinka is still doing the work. We know that he's actually talking to teams. He's doing the due diligence, and so far he has yet to find a trade. And there are a couple options out there that we know of. Maybe the Hornets could even be a big player coming up very soon. They're working on a contract with Miles Bridges. If they sign him anywhere close to a max, then a lot of the conversations that the Lakers and the Hornets had in the offseason now come to light once again, because the whole reason that the Hornets wanted to make a trade for like a Russell Westbrook was to unload all of their salaries, because they were going to have to pay Miles Bridges, they're going to have to pay LaMelo Ball. You want flexibility for the future. If they land Victor Wembanyama, well then Victor Wembanyama, LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, and like $100+ million in cap space puts you in a good position to potentially be one of, if not the best teams in the next 3 to 5 years. So I can understand that the Hornets might be a position of play for Rob Pelinka, but up until this point, nothing has developed, and there don't really seem to be any signs of anything developing, but we're still constantly getting the rumor mill, right? We're getting constant reports, but a lot of the reports as of late have been about stars, right? Superstars, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and we keep hearing these reports that the Lakers have this like pie in the sky dream of like landing another star. We also got the report that the Lakers are a little concerned about making another win now trade because they don't want to make the same mistakes. And look, I'm not against them making no trades. Obviously, we need a trade, but if there isn't one out there, no trade is better than a bad trade. Like the last thing Rob Pelinka wants to do is to make a trade that just straps us for the next several years. And not only are we bad this year, but we're bad the next, few years. Worst case scenario, you write out this year. It sucks us as fans. We have to endure this season. It's terrible. LeBron, he has to endure the season, AD, all those things. But if you have like the cap space and then in the offseason, you'd have 3 first-round picks because you're going to get a pick this year. So at the after the draft, you could actually move that player if you needed to. Maybe that opens the door more for other, trades and different types of deals, right? So that is a huge possibility as well. And again, no trade is better than a bad trade. But if the Lakers are really trying to star chase, which look, it's the Lakers, right? That's what they like to do. They like to star chase. They like to go big game hunting. They like to try to shoot for the stars. They also might be looking at it as like, look, LeBron's on his way out career-wise. Anthony Davis, he can't stay healthy. Yes, he is, arguably the best player in the world when he's healthy and playing to the level we saw him play, but we can't count on him to be healthy. So do we really want to make a move and make a trade now that doesn't solve or help us if AD doesn't play 70 games a season, right? That really puts the Lakers in a position. So their thinking may very well be, and again, this is just sort of my thoughts based on all of the information we have, is that the Lakers are looking at like, we need a third star, not because, we can't, like with the right depth, we can't win a championship, but because we can't count on AD and LeBron is on his way out. So what happens after this year and going forward, right? If we have another star, if AD's out, well, we have that star and LeBron to kind of keep and weather the storm. Then once LeBron leaves, well, then now we have his cap. Maybe we go get another star. Maybe we go get some pieces if AD can stay healthy, or we could trade AD at some point. I think the idea for the Lakers is if you get another star, then that gives you more flexibility with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and you're not stuck with like a bunch of role guys if they decide to leave, and now it's like, all right, well, now we're rebuilding and we don't have any assets to rebuild. That, I think, is a real concern for the Lakers as well. And, look, the Big Three experiment may or may not work, right? Like, we'll see if they can make the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, I still believe I will take my chances, right? You got LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook. If they're all healthy, I could see them making some noise, especially in the Western Conference. Like the Western Conference isn't that good, right? Like, there's not a single team in the West that I look at and go, man, there is no way the Lakers are beating that team in a 7-game series. There just isn't. Like, I'm not worried about Phoenix. The Lakers with Anthony Davis have always given Phoenix fits, right? I mean, and then LeBron James is still LeBron James. I still believe if we, for whatever reason, make it to the Western Conference Finals, I think we win a championship. Because I think you'll see a LeBron James, like, turn back the clock. Because the way he'll look at it is like, man, this is what I put all this money into my body for. This might be my last chance. I need to win 8 games. And I could see just an incredible LeBron James. I could see a turn back the clock LeBron James for at least 8 games, right? Now, will that, like, obviously everyone has to be healthy, right? Anthony Davis has to return. We'll find out more in the next, coming days. He's supposed to be reevaluated soon, within the next, 5 days or so at this point. And Russ, we'll see what happens with him. I love what we've seen from Russ the last, few games or so, and just kind of his resurgence since he's came off the bench. He's already, tied for all time in triple doubles off the bench. Obviously I don't want him just chasing stats, but last game, yesterday, we saw Russ had 15, 13, and 13 or something like that, but he was efficient. He was 6 of 11 from the field, just had a really good, solid game. And so if we could get that Russ, where he's just giving us, I've said it countless times, give us 15, 10 and 10 or 15, 8 and 8 off the bench. That is perfect. You're talking about 40 points in production off the bench, right? That's great. And because people look at Russ and they're like, oh, we want Russ to score, 30. And it's that's not Russ's role. That's not what we need from Russell Westbrook. We don't need Russ to go get us 30, 10, and 10, right? We need Russ to give us basically what he did last night. Shoot, 45 to 50% from the floor. Go get us, 15 to 20 points if you can, and then give us, double digits in assists. And then there you go. There's the production. There's what we need. There's our offense, right? Especially off the bench. Now we're getting that bench production. We're getting that. And we've seen what the bench looks like without Russell Westbrook. It is terrible. I mean, Russ is solely our bench. We have no bench without Russell Westbrook. So that's the other thing, too, is that the only real way that you're going to completely turn this season around is likely trading Russell Westbrook. And that is finding the right deal that does that. Again, maybe the Hornets could do that, right? If you could get Terry Rozier, PJ Washington, Kelly Oubre, and Gordon Hayward for Russell Westbrook, Patrick Beverley, Kendrick Nunn, and I think you got to throw in a Damian Jones or something. But if you could get that, then yes, I think you do a deal like that, because not only does that help you this year, but it helps you for the next few years, right? That's basically your team for the next few years, and you have depth, you're building continuity. Even if you don't win anything this year, you got a full offseason and training camp to kind of build that chemistry, and now you got size, you got scoring, you got defense, you got, playmaking, you got a little bit of everything, right? If the Lakers can't win with those 4 guys, LeBron and AD, then I don't know what to tell you. They're probably not winning another championship anytime soon. But until that point comes, you have these 3 to carry the load. And the only way you're going to get another superstar is trading Russ. And maybe one comes next. Maybe Kyrie does come next season, right? That could be a huge possibility. But then you're still lacking, and you're still in the same position. You're still lacking depth. And the Lakers have this just what it looks like, because nothing's gotten done yet, even a minor trade. And look, it does take 2 sides to tango, right? Like Rob, it'd be wonderful if Rob could just call up whomever, right? Call up the Pacers and be like, hey, we're going to give you Russ and 1 first-round pick for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. That's that. I'm sending over the paperwork. Click. We would all love that to be the case. And, the Pacers are like, well, he said that we had to do that and clicked, and so therefore we have to do it. Fortunately, it doesn't work like that, right? And the Lakers, if there are no real moves that make sense, it is understandable, okay, well, let's wait and see what tomorrow brings. And now you're hearing all the reports of, Levine, DeMar, Bradley Beal, now James Harden. He might end up leaving the Sixers in the offseason. Could the Lakers convince him to come and play here instead of Houston? Guys like that. Kyrie, will Kyrie come? And it's just they're looking at it as well, there's nothing right now. All the deals are trying to fleece us. Maybe towards the trade deadline, something will get better. We're still at least 2, maybe 3 weeks away from teams actually willing to make trades, right? Like teams right now aren't in a rush to make trades. They're just not. They're still trying to figure out what do they want to do, what direction they want to go, what players do they want to keep, all of those things. And, so the way that it's going right now is the Lakers are trying to make moves right now, but teams aren't really willing to. And it's like, well, if you want to make a move right now, then it's going to cost you more, right? And with the Anthony Davis situation, all that stuff, like it makes the Lakers look desperate. And teams are like, well, you're free falling fast. You don't have Anthony Davis. You're limited on assets, right? Like, look at the Bojan Bogdanovic deal, right? The Lakers offered a first for Bojan, right? Like, they wouldn't even do that for Utah. And yet, Detroit was like, no, we want more. We want an unprotected first. Because look, we're going to get that first from you regardless if we're going to do this deal. And we're not in a rush. We don't even really want to trade Bojan, right? So if we don't really want to trade Bojan, and we know we could get a first for Bojan closer to the trade deadline, then why would we trade him now for the same thing we could get a couple months from now, right? Or a month from now. So if you want him now, well, it's going to cost you more. Now the price has just been raised. And that's the problem that the Lakers are facing at. And so to them, they're always been an organization that loves to go get the stars, right? The stars win the championships. And to a degree, they're right. But stars also need other guys, right? Like you're playing 5-on-5, not 3-on-5, and eventually guys get worn down. And look, even if you go get another star, if AD is hurt, like he's still your driving cat. Like he's still going to be your best player, right? Like let's say we go get Zach LaVine, right? Let's say we get Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine and LeBron James aren't going to be enough to win you a championship. They're just not. You're still going to need AD, right? But if you go get 3, 4, 5 guys, you're probably getting as much, if not more production than Zach LaVine, right? So like it's production by committee rather than, and you might get it more consistently, right? Like more production more consistently because you have so many other guys. And that also allows the guys you currently have to kind of fall back in line, right? Like Walker's not supposed to be your third or fourth best player. He's supposed to be your, 5th, 6th, 7th best player. So when he gets you 15 right now, doesn't really have that much of an impact. But, if he's like your 5th, 6th option and he goes and gets you 15, well, now that has that much more of an impact. Same thing with Reeves. Like Reeves is like our 4th, 5th best player. He's supposed to be our 7th, 8th guy, right? If Russ is the 6th man, like Reeves is supposed to be our, 7th, 8th guy, right? So boom. And the problem is we don't have starting level talent, right? And if we go get starting level talent to put around LeBron James and Anthony Davis, those guys will also be able to carry the load more. So Anthony Davis doesn't have to do more. LeBron won't have to do more. And I understand you get another star. That means LeBron and AD won't have to do as much. But here's the thing. They're going to want to. Right? Because they're the guys. Like LeBron, we've tried. The Lakers have tried on several occasions to go get a guy so LeBron can kind of take a step back, and it hasn't worked. LeBron is best with the ball in his hands. LeBron wants the ball in his hands. He doesn't want to play off the ball. The whole reason they went and got Russell Westbrook was so when LeBron wasn't in the game, you still had a guy that could do a lot of the same stuff that LeBron can. And when LeBron's in the game, LeBron can play more off the ball because he improved his shooting. And none of that has really happened. Right? when Russ and LeBron are on the court, LeBron has the ball in his hands 90% of the time. So you're going to go get another star, and LeBron's still going to do the same stuff. And Anthony Davis is still probably going to be the number one guy. You're better off going and getting role players, and those guys can take the burden. But now LeBron doesn't have to go get you 30 to have a chance. Right? He could go get you, 20 to 25 throughout the game and just, sprinkle in his points here and there rather than I got to go score the next 10 points, because nobody else can score here. Right? Like if you have guys that he can trust, he's shown it. Like if I can trust you guys, then I will deliver the ball. Right? I will do what is necessary. We need LeBron to be the point guard again is what we need. LeBron gets to be the point guard. AD gets to be the dominant force down low, whether he's at center or power forward, whatever it is, right? So if you go get several pieces to where LeBron can be the point guard, as much as he says he doesn't want to be a point guard, he is. I mean, he still is, even on this team. So just embrace it. Let LeBron be the point guard. go get some solid pieces. I mean, if you go get Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, Kelly Oubre, and PJ Washington, there you go. There's your team, right? Terry Rozier might be perfect next to LeBron James because of his ability to catch and shoot and play off the ball as well as on the ball. So now you have that who can slash, he can shoot, he can score, you can go give him the ball and he could just go get you a bucket. That helps as well. And then Gordon Hayward is like Austin Reeves all grown up, right? So like he might be the best fit in the league next to LeBron and AD. He just can't stay healthy. But you have PJ Washington, Kelly Oubre, and Terry Rozier. So if he isn't healthy, at least you still have guys that are productive. And Gordon Hayward next year is an expiring contract, right? Like I'm not saying that deal will happen or anything like that, but like if they can get something like that to where you get 3 or 4 players and pieces that can come in, be starting level talent. LeBron can kind of run the point guard. Anthony Davis could play down low and do his thing. And you got the other guys filling in. The Lakers could be off to the races. I would just rather have that than the star. But the Lakers just really seem determined to star chase right now. And hopefully something develops. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think the Lakers, they're star chasing, they're just waiting around for a star so they could justify the trade? Do you think no? Do you want them to get another star? If so, what star do you want them to know? Just go the depth route. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comment section below.